Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitham Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitham Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namah. I welcome all the viewers who are joining us from all over the world today for this Parashakti Akashic reading program. So in today's program, we will be understanding who is Devi Parashakti, how she is manifesting through the Supreme, and how we can have all of our questions, our prayers blessed by Devi Parashakti, manifesting through the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So let us now understand who is Devi Parashakti and what is the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Bhava means attitude or aspect, and Samadhi means oneness with the source. So Bhava Samadhi Darshan means the experience of having oneness with the source through an attitude or aspect. So in today's darshan, we will be connecting with Devi Parashakti and receiving the blessings of Devi, who has been continuously manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to answer all of our prayers, to guide us, bless us, and protect us during this pandemic. Devi has revealed so many answers for each individual as well as humanity as a whole. So we will be going through and understanding what all Devi Parashakti has revealed and how we can apply it in our lives. So Devi is the divine cosmic mother. It is from her cosmic womb that all of us have come out and that all of us will be going back in. She is the Brahmanda Yoni who has created all of these universes and who ultimately we will go back into. So in this segment, we will understand how Devi Parashakti has been manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism over the last several months, just for the sake of guiding us and blessing us, to ensure that we are staying protected during this pandemic. Pralaya. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, our very own Guru, has been continuously guiding us and blessing us through various Bhava Samadhi darshans, through various initiations to ensure that we are staying protected, and has been manifesting Devi Parashakti continuously to bring the healing energy of the cosmic mother to planet Earth. And if you would like to ask any of your questions to Devi Parashakti manifesting through the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, you are welcome to do so through the various social media platforms. So you can ask your questions on YouTube, you can become a member of the YouTube channel, and then ask your questions in the comment section of the YouTube channel of the live video. You can also ask your questions on Facebook. You can like and follow Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam page, and you can go ahead and ask your questions in the comment section of the live Facebook video. You can also ask your questions on Twitter. You can follow @Nithyananda on Twitter and ask your questions in the reply to the tweet with the hashtag #AskTheAvatar. So Devi Parashakti, in the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, is the cosmic mother. And about the relationship with the cosmic mother, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism describes, first and foremost, relationship is mother. Ability to learn, even idea to relate, starts with the mother. How to relate starts with mother. Understand your idea to relate. Your ability to relate starts with the mother. Mother is too important way to connect with what you think as life. In the Vedic tradition, our rishis were aware your ability to connect with the mother should be directed towards the cosmos. It should inspire. It should awaken your higher consciousness. It should inspire your higher consciousness to express through you. It should awaken your higher consciousness. Connecting with life as his mother is the most sweetest, most easiest way to connect. And today, out of his extreme compassion and love, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is manifesting Devi Parashakti herself and facing us, answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truth, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. What is the Bhava Samadhi Darshan? In the Bhavasmadhi Darshan, we will be experiencing Devi Parashakti manifesting through the Nijavatar of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. Let us understand what is the Bhavasmadhi Darshan and what is the science behind the Bhavasmadhi Darshan. Sama is oneness, and Adi means source. So Samadhi means one with the source. Bhava means attitude or aspect. So Bhava Samadhi means being one with the source through this aspect. And darshan means to have a glimpse of. In the Vedic tradition, it is used to describe the moment we behold a deity, an avatar, a saint, or an enlightened being, as just seeing such a being can cleanse the karmas of lifetime and create a deep, lasting transformation in the receiver. Darshan is the powerful, superconscious vibration that is present around an avatar at all times. He simply radiates darshan just as the sun continuously radiates light. The auspicious moment when the receiver is able to catch it becomes the moment of darshan. And let us now understand the science behind the Bhava Samadhi darshan. The first thing that we need to know is that divine cosmic beings are real. They manifest from Kailasa, the enlightened time-space zone, through deities and incarnations. And divine cosmic beings manifest through the Archavatara, the deities in temples, and through the Bhava Samadhi incarnation. And the Bhava Samadhi Darshan is the science of the Nijavatara manifesting Paramashiva, the consciousness. It is where formless, the being of Paramashiva, expresses through the Divya Sharira, the light body, and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form, the embodied form, for us to experience Paramashiva. Devi, for example, Devi Parashakti expresses through the being of Rajarajeshwari and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form of Devi Meenakshi. The Achavatara, the deity, reflects the consciousness and manifestation being of the superconscious energy. But human beings are not mature enough to receive the higher level experiences from the Archavatara directly. The avatar, the physical embodied form, comes down to bridge the gap and creates the experience of the superconscious energy in all of us. And the Bhavasmadhi Darshan awakens your Kundalini Shakti, which is the latent potential energy in every human being. This influx of superconscious energy visibly slows down the aging process, improves immunity to disease, and during the darshan, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heals, empowers, and transforms our lives. During the Bhavasmadhi Darshan, our neurons mirror that of the avatar. The mirror neurons activate and process all the observed movements or information of the avatar just by seeing. That is, the entire body can silently and without moving receive what is happening elsewhere through a process of direct observation, experiencing the superconscious energy radiated by the avatar. And the Akashic readings are not predictions, they are readings from the cosmic archive. Beyond space, creation and destruction happen simultaneously. In the dimension of time starts the past, present, and future. And because Akashic records are stored in the Akasha, the space dimension, there is no past, present, and future. That is why what you call as happened, happening, yet to happen are clearly already recorded. Let us understand who is the supreme concept of Hinduism. And the supreme concept of Hinduism has been manifesting Devi Parashakti continuously for each and every one of us to guide us and bless us and answer each and every one of our questions. So let us understand who is exactly the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanitanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasa, a macrocosmic ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism and is recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities as a lifestyle for humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasanitanam of the Kanchi Kailasa Sarveshwara, is the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamshi Srangi Samrajyam, is the present 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasanitanam of the Kailas Vanata Shamla Pita Sarveshwara, and is the present Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akada, the largest apex monastic order. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the Atalakada, is the present 23rd Guru Mahasanitanam of the Dharma Mukti Swaragapura Adinam, and has been elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as the teacher of Hinduism, the most prolific, most viewed, read, and watched, and has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has over 20 million copies of books and articles sold, read, and downloaded, and has over 10,000 hours of discourse delivered. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has enriched and enriched over 1 billion lives digitally, and is respected as the commentator of all sacred scriptures, including the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, and more. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is honored as a leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader, and is the reviver of 108 ancient Hindu sampradayas, including Rudrakanyas, Rudras, Rishis, Rishikas, Bhairavas, Bhairavis, and Sannyas. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of the largest Hindu university, Kailasas Nithyananda Hindu University, and is the establisher of 1,000 plus Kailas enlightenment ecosystem, and the founder and reviver of over 100 Sarveshwara, and is the collector of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. So with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program, and I'll be entering into the next segment where we will be witnessing the extraordinary powers, the extraordinary Shaktis of Paramashiva and Parashakti. And we have the Nithyananda Gurukul Balasans here with us today to demonstrate these powers. So let us now enter into this next segment after a short break.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Shivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Yes. Nithyananda, everyone. I welcome all of you to this segment of beautiful Dev Parashakti's Akashic reading, where in this segment we'll be discussing how the manifest external powers of Paramashiva are being manifested and received. Extremely important. Parabasis Nithyananda Yogi, the initiated disciples of the Supreme Form of Hinduism, will now be demonstrating the powers of the third eye and sharing with all the experiences and visions of the purely manifestations of the divine powers, which is awakened in us through the power of Diksha initiation. Yes, so in today's Dev Parashakti's Akashic, all of you will receive the initiation into the third awakening and various other powers with the blessings and grace of the Supreme Point of Creation. Today you'll be manifesting fallen powers of the third eye, which is seeing with eyes blindfolded, and second, the thought current stem. So, what are Shaktis? In the Vedas and Agamas, which are source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest the 463 plus extraordinary Shaktis, divine powers. Manifesting powers, Shaktis, are described as a system, method, and a science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers and have access to various states of consciousness. Shaktis manifest from a fundamental cognition that you are divine. You need to reach the divine, rather than not from the cognition that you are a man and you need to reach the divine. So what are the difference between Shaktis and Siddhis? Shaktis expressed from space of enlightenment as a side effect of feeling connection with the divine and high integrity with the good. Shaktis are a source of enlightenment, whereas Siddhis are the powers that manifest from the pathway of enlightenment. Siddhis are a path of enlightenment, and Siddhis have been obtained from the penance for enlightenment. Shaktis manifest through ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way after initiation from the avatar. Shaktis are permanent, whereas Siddhis are not permanent. Siddhis flow directly from enlightenment itself. So who is the source of all these Shaktis? Who is Paramashiva? Who is the primal divinity in Hindus? the ultimate reality and cause, which is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all-pervading, unchanging, beyond time, space, form, and causality. As the fundamental base of Abhyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya, the five cosmic acts of Srishti, creation, Sthiti, serving rulership and maintenance, Samhara, regeneration, Prabhava, putting out delusion, and Anugraha, liberating grace for all living entities in the multiverse. So the avatar of Paramashiva, who is none other than the supreme point of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, his divineness Bhagavad Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a representative of Paramashivanism and the revival of Kailasa, which is the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization nation, a great cosmic borderless nation. Ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been a cradle of enlightened beings and highly advanced sciences. It was where the science of enlightenment and power of Shaktis was lived and taught as a lifestyle for each and every one of us. For the first time in the modern day, the supreme point of Hinduism is reviving its yogic sciences and transmitting it to the world at a record-breaking, never accomplished ever before. So, the knowledge and science of manifesting these Shaktis are passed down from one generation to the next through the power of initiation or Diksha by the enlightened beings. So, the supreme point of Hinduism, being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught into these sciences so that he can revive with initiations and knowledge of causes for billions to experience and manifest the power of power manifestation from the discipline of Vedanta, Tantra, Sri Vidya, Yoga, Yogic powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, Science, Aushadha, Advaita, Bhakti Yoga, Paramashivoham, and ultimately Paramashiva Vidyana. So, how do you awaken these divine Shaktis in us, in all of us? So, every ultimate truth, which is jnana, mapped with the consciousness, which is prajna, manifests as the power and possibility of every being, which is prajna. So, how these signs of power manifestations will transfer to us is the power of initiation, which is either done by a look, naina, or sparsha by touch, or mantra or word directly in the avatar. Let's now watch a short clip on what exactly is Diksha and what are its benefits.
Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word, or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarvasamapi dikshanam muktihi phalamakhanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership, and well-being. In Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says, Devi diksha vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru. What is the science of initiation? Neuroscience has proved that the process of initiation floods the brain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging process and improves the immune system. Kundalini awakening, healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization. Experience the power of initiation through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, Biddi, Bengaluru. Contact 9.
Yes, so the science of manifestation is authenticated through four aspects of evidences of phenomena. So the first is the Shastra Purana, which is the eternal, unchangeable truth to be in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. And second is the Apta Pramana, the Vedic rishis who time tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The third is the Atma Pramana, which is the supreme point of Hinduism's first experience of the power manifestation science. And last, the Pratyaksha Pramana, scientific experimentation and observation done on science of power manifestation. So what exactly are the Vedas and Agamas? Vedas are the superior authorities for the Hindus. Vedas are pure science where ultimate truths are explained very elaborately, whereas Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded very elaborately. So Vedas and Agamas are the given stages of Shruti, as they directly reveal the Paramashivoham, the ultimate eternal unchangeable truth. So a reference taken from the Shastras or scriptures is called a Shastra. So this will take free to witness a real exciting demonstration of the power of Godai reading. So today the first power which will be demonstrated to all is the power of third eye reading. So now let's listen to Shastra Pramana for the power of third eye reading, which comes from the Vigyadhara Tantra Sutra. कपालान्तर्मनोन्यसा तिष्ठन्मीलितलोचनः क्रमेण मनसो दाढ्यात् लक्ष्ये लक्ष्यमुत्तमम्. The translation goes, by fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession, by the stability of the mind and inner space, through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal Laksham by having the vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attain the space of oneness with the source Paramashiva. Next is the Apta Pramana, where this Apta Pramana is taken from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse 8. Where the one Shri Krishna briefly says to Arjuna that Natu mam shakyase drashtum anenaiva sa chakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogameshwaram. The translation goes, but you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore I grant you the divine third eye vision. Behold my cosmic opulence. So in the Purana, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the one Shri Krishna unleashes Arjuna's power of Arjuna in the power of third eye reading. He beholds Shri Krishna's Vishnu Pradarshana, which is his own cosmic form. In the 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna initiates Arjuna of third eye, while he elaborates detailing describes Shri Krishna's cosmic form. Next is the Atma Pramana, where Swami Vidi shares in his own words. Let's now watch a video on how Swami Vidi shares on his experience on the third eye manifestation.
Inside and outside broke. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree, 10 direction, below me, everything. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience. I felt that the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. The setting sun, rising moon, the whole Arunachala hill, all the plants, bush, shrubs, trees, everything, everything, everything just became so alive. The idea, something is inside,
And the next is the prescription for the scientific experimentation done on government station. So the study measures compare the metabolic cell activity of the brain in conscious meditative states using the positive emission tomography, the PET. So when doing daily activities, high activities measured in the brain where the third eye is protected. And in deep state of samadhi, in Swamiji's in deep state of samadhi, only the third eye region is active and alive, and almost 90% of the brain is at rest. It is at rest and peace. So let's now witness a live Sakshi Pramana of the power of third eye reading done by the Bal friends of the Gurukul after a short time. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Yes, I'm back with a Balsan of Gurukul. So I have my Kaladrananda and will be manifesting the power of theory reading for all people. So along with me, I have a medically tested eye band. So this in the front is a black color acrylic sheet. I have seen at the back there's two holes, there's two sockets. So once you wear the eye band on, your eyes also gets locked, gets settled over there. And there's nice thick sponge which covers all sorts of the eye. It's for any sort of light to pass through. This eye band is medically designed for people who are suffering from the disease called insomnia, as they won't be able to sleep with the light on. So they made this eye band in such a way that no sort of light will enter while you are this eye band. This is the very same eye band my Kaladra will be using to demonstrate the power of further reading. And let now I'll start with this eye band for the following. Yes. Makaladra, are you comfortable? Yes. Yes. Great. So request you turn to your right, left, up, and down. So all the viewers who's watching us live right now, so you can see the Makaladra's eye is completely, the sponge is completely glued to our eye, so there's no way light can pass through this eye. So now is the playtime. So request all of you to go to YouTube channel and post whatever you want, either words, numbers, letters, emojis, anything. And Ma Kaladra will be reading out to all of you through her tone. Now request the YouTube channel comment section to be projected. Yes. Ma Kaladra, you can go ahead. Yes, the latest comment in the YouTube channel is from Nithyananda expression of me I am. And okay, there's a company just came up from Madhusita, and she's posted a purple heart with a pink heart with 5 diamonds and another purple heart. And the previous comment is also from, okay, there's a company just came. It's from Balakrishnan, and he has posted, Swami, I request you, can you tell my school name? Shwaraya, this is the power of 7, that's why we will soon demonstrate this power to you. And JC has posted a namaste emoji with the pink color flowers and another namaste emoji. And going back to the previous comment from AINARS ABOTINS as posted Nithyananda, and the comment before that is from PIOTRWAJDA has posted 3 namaste emoji, and the previous comment is also from him, and he has posted a namaste Nithyananda and said posted namaste emoji. Wow, wonderful. In a matter of just less than a minute, Bakaladra read all these comments in the YouTube channel. And yes. So now I'll be unstabbing the IBAN. So you can see over here the IBAN still the same, completely intact. No any changes happened. And now we'll be moving on to the next power, which is power of body scanning, along with parallel happening power of remote vision after a short break. Yes. So in the power of body scanning, the initiated disciples of the Supreme Court of Hinduism will have the ability to scan and reveal the illnesses, diseases, medically diagnosed species, and provide you the solutions through their awakened products. So Shastra Pramana for the power of body scanning comes from Vidyadhara Tantra Sutra 50. Swadehe Jagato Bapi Sukshma Sukshmataraani cha Tatvani Yani Nilayam Yatpante Vyachate Param. The translation goes, cognize deeply from the subtlest constitutive principle of your whole body, Swadeha, or of the whole universe simultaneously consists of the essential reality, the being observed in the source called Paramashiva, by the experience of sexual awareness, one becomes complete from all the thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi Adishakti is supreme, and the supreme power manifestation happens. Next is the Apta Pramanas. This Apta Pramana is taken 5,000 years ago from the very own life of a Siddha named Teraya, who was one of the prominent disciples of sage Agastya. One day, a man suffering from severe headache comes to Agastya for healing. Agatha uses the power of body scanning and identifies the root cause of the disease. He reveals that the small speck of air, a touch of fog, which is sitting in the person's brain. Agatha immediately instructs Area, his disciple, to perform an open heart surgery and look for cure. After surgery is completed successfully, the person got healed and cured of the headache. Thus, the disciple gained the name Tere. And next is the art of Kumana, where Swami beautifully shares in his own words that when I had multiple compound hand fracture, I was supposed to go for surgery and after medical checkups related to it. At that time, we detected heavy metal quantity in my different organs. It was revealed that I had been poisoned without our knowledge. I immediately used diagnostic methods, visits, or medical procedures to study the body condition due to the poisoning. Through the power of body scanning, I found out what the problems and imbalances had happened, and why the balances has to be done. I use allopathy as a second opinion to vet my mind findings. And next is the Sakshi Praman, various where disciples of Christ are initiating the power of body scanning, balancing upon the Hinduism, and experience tremendous transformation in their life once they started doing the power of Bhava manifestation, the power of body scanning into right nature. So here you can see a few comments. And now we'll be moving on to the power of remote vision. So the Shastra Pramana for the power of remote vision comes from the Nithyananda Tantra, Sutra 92. व्योमाकारं स्वमात्मानं ध्यायेद्भिर्नवृतं निराश्रया चितिशक्तिः स्वरूपं दर्शयेत् तदा. The translation goes, concentrate and organize with blissful awareness on oneself in the form of a vast etheric space or sky, Vyomakaram, which is limitless in any direction whatsoever. Thus, the Chitti Shakti, the power of consciousness, freed from all support, reveals and manifests herself as a form of one essential nature of the soul. And next is the Aptamana, the power of remote vision, which is taken from the Purana, the Mahabharata. So in the Purana Mahabharata, the whole war, the 18-year war, the sacred scripture Bhagavad Gita is narrated to the blind king Dhritarashtra by his trusted charioteer Sanjaya. Sanjaya is initiating the power of Dura Drishti, remote vision, and Dura Shruti, the power of hearing remote distances. It is through Sanjaya's narration that humanity now has received sacred scripture, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And the next is the Artha Pramana, where Swamiji shares that Narayana Swami Tata was one of the gurus of Swamiji who was well known in Tirunamalai to see remote distances at peace. One day, a senior police officer came to Narayana Swami Tata seeking help to find a thief from where they were searching for last one week. Narayana Swami Tata turned towards Swamiji and asked him to see the whereabouts in the mirror above with the Jnananjana uplight and show the police officer. Swamiji not only saw the whereabouts of thief in the mirror but also showed the same to the police officer, after which the thief was caught in the same location as revealed by Swamiji. The next is the Sakshi Pramana, where thousands of initial disciples of the Supreme Court of Hinduism have successfully started manifesting for remote vision after the initiation of the Supreme Court of Hinduism. So all the viewers, I request all the people go ahead in the YouTube channel and post a request that you want a body scanning or a remote vision. And we'll be right back to the few minutes with the balances of the channel. Yes, so I'm back with two of the extraordinary power manifestations. Power manifestors. So on my right, I have my Yoga Prananda, who will demonstrate the power of demonstration for all of us. And to my left, I have one Brahma Yogananda, who will demonstrate the power of body scanning for all of you. And today I will be doing the power of body scanning also. Yes. So JC Parenti has posted. Nithyanandam, I would like to request a body scanning please. Yes, so my Brahma Yoga is doing body scan for JC Jos Carlos Aya. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Mahajan Sitananda has posted. Thank you, Virijama. I intend to move away into a brand new, beautiful, blessed life. For this, I need a COVID vaccine. Please scan and give negative side effects of the I request the comment section. We scroll a little more down. Sorry, the other way. We're going to up. I request the comment section to be scrolled. Yes. So for this, I need COVID vaccine. Please scan any negative side effect of the vaccine be cleared away from you. Sure, Ma, I'm doing the scan for you. Yes, so Jose Saya, I did the body scanning for you, and Parmeshwar revealed to me that your whole body is really stiff and having muscle cramps everywhere, especially on your upper back, like your shoulders and your neck region. You're having really bad muscle cramps over there, and your that area is really stiff, and not only that area, but the whole body is really stiff for you. And that is because of since you're getting in the body, because of the food you're eating. The eating is completely chemicalized. It's food full of chemicals, and it's actually so. The solution is Paramashivoham revealed this first thing: follow the Nirahara Samyama and try to find the most organic food which is possible, means organic drinks or juices. Otherwise, just like homemade it or kind. Do your best, but don't have chemicalized and packaged food. Do the Nirahara Samyama and drink a lot of milk. Drink a lot of milk and put castor oil. Heat up castor oil and massage your whole body wherever the muscle cramp is there. Massage your neck, your shoulders, your knees, wherever the muscle cramp is there. Just massage it with warm castor oil before you go to bed. Follow the solution and all the toxins in your body will get cleansed out, and you'll be able to move your body once again without it hurting. Yes, so Mahajananda, what Paramahansa revealed to me is that yes, there's no problem. You're taking the COVID vaccine, absolutely no problem. But do not take more dosage about it, the more dosage of the vaccine. So the more and more you take the vaccine inside yourself, the more and more the immune system, the strong immune system, you're gonna just spoil it by just by taking the vaccine, by infusing chemicals into the immune system. So Paramahansa said you can take one vaccine, that's enough for you. So Salim ji has also requested. Yes, I have actually done the body scanning. So Ma Salim ji, you have requested for a body scanning for margin reduction and for his problem of insomnia and fatigue chronic. So I did the body scanning for him, and Paramahansa revealed that the only solution which he needs to apply is have a lot of neem, whether it's in the form of leaves, whether it's in the form of paste or juice, whatever it is, have a lot of neem. Should have a lot of neem intake and also turmeric. These two things will really help him, and he'll be completely healed from insomnia and fatigue chronic. If he just follows the simple solution of eating a lot of neem. I request the comments to be scroll a little down. So Aina's Avatin Saya has posted. Nithyanandam, I want a body scanning. has an irregular pain in backside. I suspect it to be hemorrhoid, but I'm not so sure. I'm not sure. Please scan and verify and please give solution for this. Thank you. Yes, so Ayna's everything saya, I will do the voice scan for you. Yes, so what Parmashivoham revealed to me, Ayna Zaya, it's not hemorrhoid, it's not a major problem. It's just the muscle cramp that you're having in the backside, nothing much. So what Parmashivoham showed the solution is apply thick layer of castor oil that will help you to get rid of the pain area. I'm request the comment section to be scrolled down. Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. I request the comments to be scrolled a little more up. Yes, so JC Parantaya has gotten back saying, thank you, Ma. It's true, my back and neck have been stiff for a long time. I'll follow Parmashivoham's solutions. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Aya, for coming back. And Ma Mahajan Sitananda is also coming back saying, thank you, Ma. Yes, I've taken the one dose vaccine, so they want the second one. Thank you, Ma Virija. Yes. And Balakrishna has posted, swallow my pet cat died today, and please break my cat. Sure, yeah, when yes. So Balakrishna, yeah, you can actually offer the Maheshwara Puja, which will come every Amavasya and every Paunami. Every fortnight. Yes. So we will be doing the Maheshwara Puja. So that time you can you can put the picture of your cat, and you can, and also you can request Devi Parashakti or Sundaresh Paramporan, and leave a comment section. Surely they will liberate your cat here. And just with the offering of the Maheshwara Puja, your cat will completely get liberated here. I request the previous comments to be shown. Yes, so Salimji Ma has posted back saying, Ma, I didn't understand the first thing for the solution. There was turmeric and so Ma Brahmayoga requested me to expand on that. Yes, so Ma Salimji, Paramashivoham revealed to me that he should have a lot of neem. Whatever form it's in, it's completely fine. Whether it's in the form of paste or juice or just plain leaves, any form is fine, but he should have a lot of neem intake. And turmeric is also good for him. If he can make a paste with neem and turmeric, or he can make a powder, or he can add some turmeric in the neem juice. That is completely fine. But the main thing is he should have a lot of neem intake. Yes. So yes, thank you, Ma Brahmanga, for revealing the solution for Ma Salimji. And with this, I would like to thank all the viewers who have joined us live in various platforms for in the segment of the Parashakti's Akashic reading, where you have witnessed on how the powers of Paramashivaham are being manifested and expressed. Surely at the end of this program, you will go back empty-handed. You will, in fact, be written with these powers by you manifesting these powers by yourself. So we'll be moving ahead to next segment, which is the segment where you will learn about who is the Parashakti and what are her qualities. I request Mahabhadra to
Nithyanandam, everyone. Welcome back. So now we all just witnessed a live demonstration of the extraordinary Shaktis of Paramashiva. So now see and learn about who exactly is Devi Parashakti, the divine cosmic mother. So we'll be first looking at a Dhyana Shloka of Devi Parashakti, which comes from the Lalita Sahasranama Dhyana Shloka. I will be chanting it now. सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीं मापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्. And the translation for this verse is, the Divine Mother is to be meditated upon as shining in a vermilion red body, with the triple eyes sporting a crown of rubies studded with a crescent moon, a face all smiles, a splendid bust, one hand holding a jewel cup brimming with mead, and the other twirling a red lotus. And another Dhyana Shloka of Devi Parashakti, which also comes from the Lalita Sahasranama, beautifully says, Arunam karunam tarangatakshim dhritapaşankuşapuşpabanachapam animadiviravritam ayukaihi rahamityeva vibhavaye bhavani. And the translation for this verse says, I meditate on the great empress. She is red in color and her eyes are full of compassion. She holds the noose, the goad, the bow, and the flowery arrow in her hands. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as Anima Fures, and she is the self. And Devi Parashakti is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. Parashakti is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes come out and go in, and the source where the Big Bang and black holes go on and on. Parashakti is the source Shakti, the source energy, the source power, from which all of us came, in which all of us are in even now, and in which all of us are going to merge. And now to her extreme love and compassion, Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as the Nijavatara of the Supreme Body of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, gracing us, answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. And Devi Parashakti beautifully reveals, she introduced herself, as she says, raising as Omkara, expressing as Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Rinkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in 40 triangles, the Kairasha Swami who is in Kailasha, Shripura Chintamani, Parashodasi, sitting as part of Paramashiva, Parameshwari who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani, Meenakshi, as Nithyananda I took Nijavatara here, to give good boons to everyone, to bestow all goodness. Hiranya Garbha Swarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samrajya Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodasi, Meenakshi, taking the form of Nithyananda, I came here as Nijavatara. With great compassion and blessing, listen people, to do good to all of you, I took the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nijavatara. And she continues to reveal, saying, raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, Shiva manifesting as source of existence, powers of existence, expression of existence, from the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Icha, Kriya, and Jnana, growing as 4 Vedas, expanding as 5 Panchabhutas, beyond 6 chakras, filled as gotras of 7 rishis, expanding as 8 directions, existing as 9 grahas, blossoming as 10 indriyas, being as 11 rudras, creating all the worlds, bringing life to tell and make truth blossom and to do good. Parashodasi, Meenakshi, in the form of Nithyananda, I came to bless every one of you. And now let us see how we can receive Devi Parashakti. So literally you are seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti at that moment. She is there on your screen. So you can receive her in a very traditional way. You can keep 2 betel leaves, 1 banana, 1 betelnut, and a coin in front of the screen as you watch Devi Parashakti. And for those of you who might be wondering what exactly is a coin considered as, or what is its importance, in the Hindu tradition, a coin is actually considered the traditional dakshina. It can be the lowest value. In India, it can even be just 1 paise. In the US, it can even be just a cent. Swamiji says, I'm not trying to monetize. Keep even 1 cent, it is okay. So for 100 days, if you have darshan, it will add up to $1. In India, and you can offer that to Devi Parashakti. And once the darshan is over, you can eat the banana, the betel leaf, and betel and take it as prasadam immediately. And the coins that you collect, you can send it to the Los Angeles Temple for the further procedures. And some of you might have the doubt on how this betel leaf and betel nut will benefit you, whether it's physically, emotionally, or mentally. So this betel leaf and betel nut may look too small, but in a few days you will see how much it adds to your sentiment that really Devi Parashakti is there. You will not take the Devi darshans for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you with the powerful permission. It will break your unconscious behavior. And now here you can see how you can set up your tambulan. So you can arrange the betel leaves, the betel nut, the banana, and the coin on a plate as you receive Devi Parashakti. You can also keep a few additional items, such as some fresh flowers, kumkum, turmeric, glass bangles, and a coconut. But the 4 basic items is the betel leaves, the betel nut, the banana, and the coin. So you can keep them from the screen arranged on a plate as you receive Devi Parashakti. So the next time you are arranging to receive Devi Parashakti during the darshan, you can set up your own set of tambulam to receive her in a very traditional manner. And with that, we now come to a conclusion of this segment where we have learned who is Devi Parashakti and how we can receive Devi Parashakti in Hindu. And we will now be moving to the next segment of this program where all of us will be learning what Devi Parashakti has revealed in the Akashic readings. So please stay tuned for the next segment where we will be learning what Devi Parashakti has revealed in the Akashic readings on all the various problems that humanity is going through today and the cause and solution for all of these problems. Please stay tuned and we will be back after a short break.
So now in this segment, we will understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed about the sacred secrets of Hindu birth. Devi has revealed so many sacred secrets and revelations about our everyday lives, about everything that is happening in the pandemic, but she has also made many revelations about secrets of the universe, secrets of our birth and death, and so many other revelations. So in today's segment, we will be understanding Devi Parashakti's revelations on the sacred secrets of Hindu birth. Devi Parashakti has revealed that we as Hindus who have taken the Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam have a responsibility to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And that is why we were given the sacred birth of Hindu birth, the Hindu Yonijam. And in this segment, we will be understanding what exactly is the responsibility of Hindus, what Hinduism has contributed to the world, and how we can also, as Hindus who are either born Hindus or practicing Hindus, can continue to revive and share all of what Hinduism has with the world. So let us now enter into this segment and understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Nithyanam. Sorry for the technical glitch. Yes. Let us now enter into the segment and understand the sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu birth, the Hindu yonism of having been born to Hindu parents. So let us first listen to Devi Parashakti's revelation made on the secret of Hindu birth. Devi has given this revelation to ensure that as Hindus, we are taking responsibility for Hinduism and are being active Hindus. It is not just the anti-Hindu forces being inactive that has caused the anti-Hindu forces being active that has caused the destruction of Hinduism, but it is the practicing Hindus being inactive that has caused the destruction of Hinduism. So let us now first listen to Devi Parashakti's revelation and understand the revelation.
நன்றாய் கேட்டுக்கொள். உன் கேள்விக்கு உன்மூலமாய் உலகெங்கும் இருக்கும் இந்துக்கள் எல்லோர்க்கும் அளிக்கின்றேன் உத்திரம். கேட்டு வாழ்ந்தால் உங்கள் வாழ்க்கை பத்திரம். நன்றாய் கேளுங்கள். பிறப்பின் ரகசியத்தை பிறப்பிலா பெருமை உடைய பரமேஸ்வரி சொல்லுகின்றேன் கேளுங்கள். அண்டஜம், யோனிஜம், ஜலஜம், பீஜம் எனும் 4 விதமான பிறவிகளில் 84,000 யோனிகளில் பிறக்கும் பிறப்புகளிலேயே பெருமை வாய்ந்ததும் உத்தமமானதும் மனித பிறவி. அந்த மனித பிறவியிலும் பலமுறை பிறந்து அரசியல், பொருளாதாரம், சுகபோகம், தர்மம், அர்த்தம், காமம் எனும் ஆசைகள், துக்கங்கள், அச்சங்கள் அனைத்திலும் அழன்று உழன்று இனி வேண்டாம் இப்பிறவி, வேண்டுவது மோட்சமே என்று முடிவெடுத்தோர்க்கு மட்டுமே ஹிந்து மத யோனிஜம், ஹிந்து பெற்றோர்க்கு பிறந்திடும் சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம், மனித பிறவி உத்தமம், சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித பிறவி உத்தமோத்தமம். இந்த உத்தமோத்தம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோருக்கும் ஜீவன் முக்த விஞ்ஞானத்தையும் சனாதன தர்மத்தையும் காக்கின்ற கடமையும் உண்டு. அதனால் வருகின்ற நன்மையெல்லாம் அனுபவிக்கும் உரிமையும் உண்டு. இந்த கடமையை செய்வோம் என்று சத்தியம் செய்ததனால்தான் அந்த உரிமை அளிக்கப்பட்டது. பூமிக்கு வந்தபின் மனம் மயங்கி மதிமயங்கி சனாதன தர்மம் காக்க மறந்ததனால் மாயை அவர்கள் உயிரை பறிக்கின்றாள். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மத்தை காப்போம் என்று உறுதி எடுத்தவர்க்கே சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம் அளிக்கின்றேன் யான். உடல் பெற்ற பிறகு ஊழிப் பெருவலியால் ஆசை அச்சங்களை உதறவிடாது, உதறியும் விடாது சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்து வாழத் தகுதியில்லாதவர் பட்டியலில் உடனடியாய் மாயை சேர்க்கின்றாள். அதனால் ராட்சசர்களும் அசுரர்களும் தானாகவே இவர்கள் உயிரை எடுக்கின்றார். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மம் காப்போம் என்று நிற்பவர்க்கு நிலைத்திடும் வீரஸ்வர்க்கமும் கைலாச பதவியும், எக்காரணம் கொண்டும் தர்மம் காக்க மறந்த உத்தமோத்தம ஜனனமான சனாதன ஹிந்து இல்லை வேறு கதி. சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித ஜனனம் உத்தமோத்தம மனித ஜனனம். உங்கள் உரிமை உலகில் அதிகம், உங்களுக்கு கடமையும் உலகில் பெரிது. தர்மம் காத்தாலே கடமை, தர்மம் காக்காதார்க்கு உயிர் வாழும் உரிமை இல்லை. நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உத்தமோத்தம பிறவியான சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோரும் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் வாழ்வின் முதற்கடமை தர்மம் காத்தல். தர்மம் காக்க தர்மம் உங்களை காக்கும். சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்திட்டால் வாழும் உரிமையை நீங்கள் இழந்து விடுகின்றீர்கள். அதற்கு மேல் வாழ்ந்தென்ன அழிந்தென்ன? பூமிக்கு பாரம் குறையட்டும் என்று அசுரர்களும் ராட்சதர்களும் உங்களை உண்டு தீர்க்கின்றார்கள். அதையும் மாயை கண்டு சும்மாவிருப்பாள். பிரபஞ்ச ரகசியத்தை, பிறவியின் ரகசியத்தை உலகிற்கெல்லாம் உத்தரமாய்ச் சொல்லிவிட்டேன். புரிந்து வாழ்வில் நடந்து உயிரமாய் பார்த்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். அன்னை சொல்லும் அருள்யம் இது. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
Yes. So let us understand Devi Parashakti's revelation mapped into English. Listen, Andajam, Yonijam, Jalajam, Bijam. Like this in 4 types of birth, in 84 lakh yonis. In all these births, the most greatest birth of them all is the human birth.
And even in that human birth, being born and toiled many times, after getting burnt and toiled in politics, in finance, in luxuries, in dharma, artha, and kama.
And those who decide of not wanting this birth, but wanting only moksha, only those will have Hindu Dharma Yonijam, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam of being born to Hindu parents.
Human birth is Uttamam, best. Sanatana Hindu Dharma human birth is Uttamottamam, best of us.
Everyone who took this Uttamottama birth has the responsibility of protecting the science of living enlightenment and Sanatana Dharma.
And also, they have the right of experiencing its benefits. This right was given to them because of their commitment given by them to do this responsibility.
After coming to Bhuloka, by getting mentally deluded and forgetting the Dharma of protecting Sanatana Dharma, Maya, she is taking away all their souls.
Understand carefully, I am giving the Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam only for those who gave the commitment of protecting Sanatana Dharma even by giving their life.
After getting the body, because of painful delusion, not dropping fear and greed for those who forgot to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Maya, she will immediately add them all to the list of those who are not worthy of living.
Therefore, Rakshasas and Asuras' life, understand properly, for those who stand their life, they will protect Dharma, will permanently have Veerasvarga and Kailasapadam.
For any reason, people who forgot to protect Dharma, having the Uttamottama birth of Sanatana Hindu birth, there is no other way for them.
Sanatana Hindu Dharma human birth is Uttamottama human birth. Your rights in this world are immense. Also, your responsibility in this world is large. Protecting Dharma is responsibility.
Those who do not protect Dharma, they do not have the right to live. Understand properly, all those who took the Uttamottama birth, which is Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth, all of you understand.
The first responsibility of your life is protecting Dharma. If you protect Dharma, Dharma will protect you. If you forget to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, you lose the right of living.
After that, what bothers whether you live or get destroyed? Asuras and Rakshasas will eat you so that the burden on earth is reduced. Seeing that Maya, she will keep quiet. Let us now understand what is the responsibility of Hindus as revealed by Devi Parashakti and why we need a Hindu nation.
So Hinduism represents the world's most ancient yet progressive indigenous spiritual tradition. It is an open framework model of civilization that stands for global peace, vegetarianism, non-violence, yoga, worship of nature, temple-based living, manifesting of the spiritual powers and inherent divinity of every being.
And the Hindu nations were ecosystems where more and more enlightened beings could be produced, so that the enlightened civilization could be kept alive and its great gifts could be shared with the world.
So now let us see references for the Hindu nations from the Hindu scriptures.
In the Valmiki Ramayana, in the Yuddha Kanda, it describes the Ramarajya, the Hindu nation ruled by Bhagwan Rama. As many of us have heard, that Bhagwan Rama's kingdom was extremely prosperous. In this description, it describes there were no widows to lament, nor was there any danger from wild animals, nor any fear born of diseases. The world was bereft of thieves and robberies. No one felt worthless, nor did old people perform obsequies concerning youngsters. Every creature felt pleased. Everyone was intent on virtue, turning their eyes towards Rama alone. Creatures did not kill one another. And then the description continues on.
And the description continues saying, people survived for thousands of years with thousands of their progeny, all free of illness and grief. The trees there were bearing flowers and fruits regularly, without any injury by pests and insects. The clouds were raining in time, and the wind was delightful to the touch. Every caste were performing their own duties, satisfied with their own work, and barefoot of any grief. People were intent on virtue and lived without telling lies. All the people were six, all were engaged in virtue.
And then the Hastinapur kingdom, ruled by Yudhishthira, was described in the Srimad Mahabharata. And this description goes, Devas granted rains to fulfill all wants. The world became free of all disease. There was no hunger or thirst anywhere. There was no mental suffering. Those without livelihood were given livelihood. There was abundance all around. There was no worldly worries left for anyone. And there was no cause for fear either. Happiness on earth was in fact greater than in the heavens. And you can see these are just two kingdoms that were Hindu nations from our history. And these, of course, are very well-known kingdoms. The Hastinapur kingdom and the Ramarajya are very well known as being the ideal kingdoms ruled by the ideal king. But all of our Hindu nations were such kingdoms with so much of prosperity and so much of fulfillment and every person in this kingdom.
And the Hindu nation had and has so much to contribute to the world in every field, whether it's enlightenment, health, medicine, art, science, technology, aviation, dance and music, clothes and jewelry, social system, judicial system, political system, legal system, and much more.
So how were our Hindu nations destroyed? As we know, now there is not a single Hindu nation in the world except for Kailasa. So let us understand how we went from 56 nations to none to now Kailasa. So the destruction of the Hindu civilization went through three phases. The first phase was the Islamic invasions between 800 and 1700 AD. This was the physical destruction of the Hindu civilization. And Will Durant, a famous historian who has studied India extensively, has described the Mohammedan conquest of India is probably the bloodiest story in history. The Islamic historians and scholars have recorded with great glee and pride the slaughters of Hindus, forced conversions, abduction of Hindu women and children to slave markets, and the destruction of temples carried out by the warriors of Islam during 800 to 1700 AD. Millions of Hindus were converted to Islam by sword during this period, and millions more were raped and murdered and dismembered. You can see how barbaric this Islamic invasion, the destruction of the Hindu civilization, was.
So in the Islamic invasions, Hindus were like the mud. If silver is demanded from them, they must, with the greatest humility, offer gold. If a Mohammedan desires to spit in his mouth, then the Hindu should open it wide for the purpose. God created the Hindus to be slaves for the Mohammedans. The Prophet had ordained that if the Hindus do not accept Islam, they should be imprisoned, tortured, and finally put to death, and their property confiscated. To keep the Hindus in abasement is especially a religious duty because they are not the most inveterate enemies of the Prophet.
And this is the description from the Islamic law prescribed to Hindus as conveyed by Khilji, one of the most bloodiest invaders in the Islamic invasion. And here you can even see that Hindu women were forced to wear garlands of their own children. And during the Islamic invasion, over 200 million Hindus were slaughtered by the Muslim invaders. Over 100,000 temples were destroyed, and over 1 million deities and sculptures were destroyed. And in the description of the Islamic invasion, the conquering armies burnt villages, destroyed.
And in the second phase, second phase of the destruction of the Hindu civilization was the British occupation from 1700 to 1947 AD. So the economic and psychological destruction of Hindu civilization was during this time. And Will Durant says in one of his books that I have seen a great people starving to death before my eyes, and I'm convinced that this exhaustion and starvation are due not, as their beneficiaries claim, to overpopulation and superstition, but to the most sordid and criminal exploitation of one nation by another is all recorded history.
Here you can see just one example of how the British occupation had destroyed Hindus and specifically attacked Hinduism. You can see the photos of the Bengal famine, which was an artificial famine imposed by the British in order to subjugate the Hindu civilians. And during the British occupation, the British Empire used all possible means to destroy Hindu civil and cultural institutions in order to delist the indigenous people of India so that they would become slaves in their own homeland. And this included discriminatory laws to instill feelings of racial inferiority, engineered famine to starve natives into submission, annexing Hindu kingdom to undermine the native rule, and mistranslating Hindu scriptures to instill anti-Hindu narratives, destroying the indigenous Gurukul education system, which is the backbone of Hinduism, destroying the local industries and forcing importation of British goods, and banning Indians from owning or producing firearms so they cannot even defend themselves. And during the British occupation, over $45 trillion was looted from India over the course of 200 years. over 45 million Hindus were put to death due to artificial famines and imposed poverty by British policies, and over 680 native kingdoms were usurped by the British Raj. And Shashi Tharoor of the Indian Parliament has described the British came to one of the richest countries of the world, and over the course of 200 years of exploitation, looting, and destruction reduced it to a poster child of third world poverty. This is unfortunately the India as we know today, the India that the world knows today. The third phase, destruction of the Hindu civilization, was the secularization of India. This was after independence between 1947 until current day. We are still facing this destruction of Hinduism due to secularization of India. And this has been ruled by brown faces, British attitudes and policies towards Hindus. And Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, has described what a disgusting, savage people we are. Politics, progress, socialism, communism, science, where are they before this Black religious savagery? India can never be a Hindu republic.
And if in a book, B.R. Ambedkar, which is India's first law minister and principal architect of the Indian Constitution, says that if Hindu Raj does become a fact, it will no doubt be the greatest calamity for this country. No matter what the Hindus say, Hinduism is a menace to liberty, equality, and fraternity. It is incompatible with democracy. Hindu Raj must be prevented at any cost. So this is what B.R. Ambedkar had said during the secular India in 1940.
You can see that the very rulers of India, the leaders of India, these free India, what kind of cognition they had about Hinduism and how discriminatory they were towards Hindus. And in the secular India, the modern Indian legal system, academia, and media all systematically undermine, suppress, and delegitimize Hindu institutions and culture. India's constitution established government control and taxation over Hindu temples, schools, and institutions, while other religious institutions are free from this interference. And Articles 26 to 30 of India's constitution directly discriminate against Hindus by giving special rights and benefits to non-Hindus. This includes government benefits and scholarship and others. And Hindu kingdoms and self-governance was completely abolished after the secularization of India, and anti-superstition laws were passed to criminalize Hindu practices. So these laws directly criminalized our Hindu traditions, our practices, our rituals, and made it illegal for us to practice Hinduism essentially. And mainstream Indian academia has described Hindus as sexist, racist, backwards, and oppressors. And the negative media portrayals of Hindus in Bollywood has also had this same way of portraying Hindus.
Can you change first?
During the secular phase of India, the media narratives have been used to stereotype and demoralize Hindus. Bollywood and other mainstream media outlets consistently portray Hindu gods and gurus as cartoonish, dishonest, corrupt sex fiends in a manner similar to the British imperial propaganda. And media narratives are used to shape human consciousness and further political agendas. Racist British colonial stereotypes portray Hindus as superstitious, backwards, dishonest, and corrupt, and they are perpetuated by their brown British successors in modern day India and completely unabated.
So now let us look at the revival of the Hindu nations.
The supreme concept of Hinduism has described the vision for the Hindu civilization. During the time of the Mahabharata, we Hindus had 56 deshas, 200 states, 1,700 samsthanas, and 10,000 sampradayas. In all 56, we Hindus are persecuted. Now we have lost all 56, and the last one to fall was Nepal. I am the collective voice of all the persecuted Hindus. I will revive and rebuild a Hindu nation built on the Vedagamic principles as a refuge for all practicing and aspiring Hindus, as a safe haven for all the persecuted Hindus. And this is the exact purpose of Kailasa, the only Hindu nation.
And this revival of Kailasa, the Hindu nation, is for reviving this whole life of enlightened civilization and all the great things it has to offer to the world, bringing legitimacy to all the offerings, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and share it with the whole world. And that is the purpose of this Kailasa, the Hindu nation.
Kailasa is the revival of the cosmic constitution, that is the administration of Kailasa. Kailasa is the model nation of how enlightened civilization should be living and administered. Politics, judiciary, education, economy, everything will be revived as Paramashiva revealed in the Vedagamas, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma scriptures.
And being one of the most persecuted civilizations, Hinduism is on the brink of extinction, such that the next generation may know about Hinduism only through history books. So, what can we do to stand up for Hindu civilization and all that it has to offer to the world?
Currently, Hinduism is a political orphan. The preservation and restoration of Hinduism's spiritual and cultural heritage is impossible without a national identity. And what is it that we can do to save Hinduism, to create our national identity?
So, let us see how we can reclaim our Hindu identity. How can you reclaim your Hindu identity?
Hinduism is responsible for our successful life. If you are a Hindu and you are healthy, wealthy, rich, successful, peaceful, happy, respectable, have a stable family life, have the best mental health, you need to understand that it is Hinduism that is responsible for this. It is your Hindu identity that is responsible for this. It is our Hindu scriptures that is responsible for this. It is the Hindu scriptures which have given us the best mental setup. All the best things that we have, that we Hindus have, is from our Hindu scriptures. And it is our responsibility to protect them.
And Hindus are the richest and most successful ethnic community in the world. Hindu scriptures, the Hindu lifestyle, and our enlightened masters are responsible for this. Hindu thought currents are responsible for this. So if you have a successful life, it is because of Hinduism.
And in the article in Hindustan Times, it was reported that Hindus are the most educated group in the US. And this was reported by a Pew study. This was studied by Pew. Let us now reclaim our Hindu identity. We need to understand it is not just that anti-Hindu elements being active that is responsible for the destruction of Hindu civilization. It is the responsible Hindus being inactive that is responsible for this entire destruction of our Hindu civilization and Hinduism. Let us now take the responsibility for Hinduism and let us all Hindus all over the world take this responsibility for Hinduism.
So it is the responsibility of Hindus to revive this enlightened civilization again and again, and give the enlightened civilization to the humanity. And the revival of this enlightened civilization, the Kailasa, is the Hindu nation and is survival need of humanity.
So this is an invitation to all the Hindus out there, the born Hindus, the practicing Hindus, those who are sympathetic towards Hinduism, those who are curious about Hinduism, those who want to explore Hinduism, and those who enjoy Hinduism. Please come and become a part of this revival. Join to be a part of this full revival of Kailasa, the Hindu civilization, the Hindu nation. You can sign up to become an e-Kailashian, an e-citizen of Kailasa, and avail all of the benefits of Hinduism and share all the benefits of Hinduism with the world. Let us now understand, in the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, why Kailasa is needed. The only Hindu civilization is needed for humanity.
Contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world. Like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music. In every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Hindus need to tell the world what they are contributing in every level. The brand of Hinduism itself is enriching and empowering, enlightening. Hinduism is all about enlightening the world. Empowering, enlightening, enriching the world, contributing. That is our spiritual life. That is our spiritual strength. That is our spiritual core principle. O humanity, I request you with folded hands, some one corner of the world, if you just give me few hundred acres, I will keep this whole science alive. Leave it for the whole humanity freely. Fortunately, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode all this system. Hindu judiciary system, Hindu social law and order system, Hindu power manifestation system, Hindu mental sciences system, Hindu yogic sciences, the sciences of Hindu biology, Hindu physics, Hindu psychology, Hindu physiology, Hindu chemistry, all this, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode. Whatever the remaining scriptures are available with the humanity, Paramashiva has blessed me, and I have collected, not only I have collected and organized, I can decode. This whole science can be kept alive in any one corner of the world. Just few hundred acres are given for me to live peacefully and exist peacefully. I can store this whole thing alive and contribute it to humanity. Humanity can become better and better and better I can make the planet Earth so much better place to live. I am here to contribute, and I will continue to contribute. As long as I am allowed to live, I will contribute. I have collected all the remaining available scriptures, maybe 2 crore books. 2 crore means 20 million, I think, books on Hindu physics, Hindu chemistry, Hindu biology, Hindu physiology, Hindu law and order, Hindu social system, the power manifestation sciences of Hinduism, yogic sciences of Hinduism. I have collected, and Paramashiva has given me the blessings and power to decode. I have decoded and continuing to decode them. If the humanity, somebody is kind enough to give me few hundred acres in one corner of the world and let me live peacefully, I can keep all these scriptures there and go on sharing with the world, revealing these whole sciences to the world, and go on contributing. I don't need anything other than 1 cup of curd rice every day. That's all. A cup of curd rice per day over. I can go on be giving this to the world. I can add to the world. I can make the world a better place to live. That's all I have to say. Thousands of medicines are described detail in ancient Siddha and Ayurvedic scriptures. Paramashiva has given me the power to decode them, read them, and properly translate and map them to the modern day human language. And I am ready to work 20 hours a day. I just need few hundred acres where I can sit peacefully and keep this library, run a Gurukul where thousands of people can learn this and share it with the world, understand. I am only interested in contributing. If we can decode all this great knowledge, whole world can prosper from this knowledge. Whole world can enjoy from this knowledge. If I prosper, I will only create a university. I will not create anything else. If the Hindus prosper, they will only create education institutions. Because Hinduism is all about giving, contributing. If I prosper, I'll create university, that's all. Kailasa is all about university, to decode the ancient sciences and share with the world. Understand? Every day I am sitting and going on decoding, writing notes on my books and writing details on my books. whether it is making human beings manifest powers, and I have also now started downloading and decoding the science of making animals manifest powers, whether making people manifest powers or healing, in every level, life is all about contribution, contribution, contribution.
Now that we've understood what is the need for Kailasa and how the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is reviving Kailasa for each and every one of us to ensure this enlightened science is shared with the world, you can sign up to become an e-Kailasan and avail all of the benefits that Kailasa is sharing with the world. And now with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program. We'll be entering into the next segment. So as Devi revealed, it is the responsibility of Hindus to maintain this whole Hindu lifestyle and share all its great gifts with the world. And that is exactly what Devi Parashakti has been continuously blessing us to do, has continuously been giving us all the great gifts that Hinduism has and allowing us to share it with the world by making herself continuously available. And Devi has been continuously making herself available in order to guide and bless us. And so you are just overflowing with gratitude for the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, who has been manifesting Devi Parashakti and want to offer your gratitude to Swamiji and Devi Parashakti. You can stay tuned for this next segment and understand how you can connect with Devi Parashakti, how you can connect with Swamiji more deeply through these various offerings. So let us now enter into this segment and understand how we can connect with Devi Parashakti more deeply. And these offerings are not made out of any fear nor out of any greed, but they are an offering of our love, our devotion, and gratitude for the divine happening in our life. And every time we offer something to the divine, we open ourselves up more and more to receive all of the blessings and grace of the divine. See, no matter what, Swamiji and Devi Parashakti will continuously bless you, will continuously provide all of the energy for you to manifest your reality. But it is only when we decide to open ourselves up, when we decide to receive all that Devi and Swamiji have to offer, will we be able to benefit from everything that they are giving. And it is only when we decide to connect and be in that space of oneness with Devi, with Swamiji, will we be able to receive all that they have to offer to us. And these offerings are just a simple way to do that. By offering something, you are just opening yourself up to receive more. And offerings are a giving of a divine gift of pure love, devotion, and oneness. And it consists of two parts, the giving aspect and the accepting aspect, which is, of course, from the side of the divine. And only when the divine accepts what one offers, the offering becomes complete. Offerings are not made out of any fear nor out of greed, but when an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out for the only purpose of enlightenment.
Today, as we get ready
to receive Devi Parashakti and offer our gratitude, let us see this verse, the stotra on Devi Parashakti, which describes her compassion and grace. And this Dhyana Shloka from the Mula Agama on Manonmani Dhyana. This verse says, Induni bhaveda karavani nayanam syat pankajavara japakshara sarayuktam angahimabhushana vichitra vasanam syat tungamakutojvala manonmani swarupam. And the meaning of this verse says, moon-like face holding Veda books on hand, fire in eyes with lotus flower, gracing and blessing hands, and one hand with japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And further, another Dhyana Shloka on Devi Parashakti describes Dhyayet Devim Trinetram Shashinibhavadanam Vedahastam Dadanam Savye Padmam Varadam Apare Chapayam Chakshamalam Divyairabharanair Vibhushita Tanum Brahmadipi Pujitam Devi Meva Manonmanim Pratidinam Kamarthadatrim Shubham. The meaning of this verse: I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes, glowing like a moon, and holding the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. And in the Hindu tradition, the divine element of gold is held sacred and displayed in abundance in the Hindu scriptures. In all of the offerings to the divine, this sacred element is used. So let us see this verse from Atharva Veda, which describes the significance of the divine element of gold. This verse says, Predajitam janmaneram hiranyam agnerekam priyatamam bhabuva somasyaikyam insitasya parapadata apamekam vedasam reta ahutatte hiranyam tridastvavai vishe. The translation of this verse: triply born by birth is this gold. From the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was heard. One they call the seed of virtues and powerful Apa, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. Gold is a divine element. It purifies anything that it touches. It is an element of great spiritual significance and spiritual power, of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. Gold is present in all scriptures, in the Agamas, Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, and Puranas. In all the Hindu scriptures, it is abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious and purest metal, which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold. Ritual feasts were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. Horses and cows were dressed in gold. The Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rig Veda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones that you love and revere. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever. For now, let us look at the various offerings, your gift of love and devotion that you can offer Devi Parashakti today. And just as we have the hundi in every temple in the Hindu tradition, we have today the e-hundi, the opportunity for you to offer your gift, any gift, any token of your devotion to Devi Parashakti through the e-hundi. And this verse on Devi Parashakti describes Devi's love for true devotion. The verse says, Bhakti Priya Bhakti Gamya Bhakti Vashya Bhaya Paha Shambhavi Sharadaratya Sharvani Sharmadaini. It describes that Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all fears. If there's any fear in the minds of the devotee, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here, it is meant the when thoughts turn more and more inwards, the role of the divine is known and understood clearly, and the need for Devi worship becomes stronger. Shambhavi is the consort of Shambhu, of Lord Shiva. Sharadaradhya is one who is worshipped by Devi Sharada, Devi Saraswati herself. Sharvani is the wife of Lord Shiva. In the Linga Purana, it describes Lord Shiva as Sharva in his earth form. Sharmadaini is Devi who bestows happiness on devotees. And you can offer your devotion and gratitude, your kanika, the token of your love and devotion through the e-hundi offerings to Devi Parashakti. And any offerings made are blessed by the grace and compassion of Devi Parashakti.
Next offering that we have is the Sankalpa chanting, the offering of your conscious resolution. So before you start any endeavor or you're trying out something new, you always want to make sure that you set a conscious resolution for yourself. You want to make sure that you set the intention for exactly what it is you want to manifest. And when you offer your conscious resolution to Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Plaza of Hinduism, who is manifesting Devi Parashakti, you will be blessed with all of their energy in order to manifest whatever your sankalpa is, whatever your conscious resolution is. And in this verse, it is stated that the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being prayed without interest in anything, gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in a materialistic sense. So when you pray and offer your sankalpa to Devi Parashakti, you will have the fruition of all your desires and wishes that you yearn for.
And the next offering is the offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, the offering of gold coin inscribed with the sacred name of Devi Parashakti. In the Lalita Sahasranama, verse 731, Devi is described as Nama Parayana Prita, she who likes repetition of her various names. And this offering of the pure gold coin is a very special and unique archana that is offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. And you can offer the coins in 3 different denominations and you can offer any number of coins. Each coin is inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, and you can make this offering and be and receive the blessings to imbibe the Ananta Kalyana Gunas of Devi, the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself.
The next offering is the finger ring with the pearl, the Mukta Anguti. And Devi is well known to be adorned in pearls and quite fond of pearls. And of course, the pearl represents the ocean of compassion that is Devi. And is described, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls, and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of the lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. So when you offer this Mukta Anguti, the finger ring with a pearl, you will be blessed with Devi's overflowing compassion in all of your business endeavors, and you will be surely blessed with the fruition of all of your desires.
And the next offering that you can offer to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus flower. The significance of the golden lotus is described in the Kamika Gama verse, which says, Ashtavidyeshwaropeta Kumbhavarana Samyatam Sarve Sasutra Vasradhya Hema Pankajabhushitaha Sapidana Chakurachascha Pakwa Bilva Palaprabha Snapanadhyaya Samsiddha Pramanena Samanvitaha. And this verse describes that all the kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with new cloth. They should be adorned with the lotus flower made of gold. And there are hundreds of scriptural references for using the lotus in the worship of Paramashiva. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate involves the consecration of the deities of worship or meditating on mudras or asanas during worship, and it involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, the lotus petals. The lotus is a divine flower in the Hindu tradition, the Hindu scriptures. Shakti of Paramashiva is also called as the lotus. The base of the Paramashiva Linga is the lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus, the one who is about to bloom. And today, you can make your offering of the gold lotus in any of 3 different sizes that you would wish to offer, and be blessed to have the state, space, powers, and being of Devi Parashakti in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situations in life.
The next offering is the Swarnameti, the gold toe ring. And Devi's toenails are described in this verse. You whose brightness from the toenails destroys the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet. You whose brightness from your 2 feet overpower that of the lotus flower. And you can see the power of just Devi's toenails that have the power to destroy the ignorance of the minds of her devotees. So when you offer this Swarnameti, the gold toe ring, you will be blessed with Devi's protection in all of the difficult aspects of your life, and be sure to destroy all of the ignorance in your life. So you can offer this Swarnameti at the sacred feet of Devi Parashakti herself.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry. Devi is described as Sudha Sharabi Varshini, she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from the Sahasrara. That is she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. The Mangtika, the hairline jewelry, represents the overflowing nectar from the Sahasrara, which is fully opened with the sacred sentiment of gratitude. And you can offer the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry, to Devi Parashakti, and receives the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the state of complete completion. So you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. This and all the various offerings that you can gift to Devi Parashakti as an expression of your sacred sentiment, all available on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
Next offering is the Pratiksha Pada Puja, the offering of worship to the divine lotus feet of your very own Guru, of Swamiji, who is manifesting Devi Parashakti. And of course, this is the most favorite offering of all the devotees and disciples of the Supreme Panchatattva. And in this verse, it is described in the Saundarya Lahari that the nails of Devi have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of the celestial beings who always prostrate before Devi. And Tamoguna is darkness, and in this stotram, tamas is indicative of the ignorance of the minds of the devotees. And by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain the knowledge. So when you offer your love and deep felt gratitude at the feet of Devi Parashakti and of Swamiji, you will be blessed with all auspiciousness on your path to enlightenment. And be sure that all of your ignorance is removed and you will be attaining the ultimate knowledge in this path.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the Vastra Seva, the offering of the sacred cloth. The sacred cloth is traditionally offered to the divine as a prayer and requesting the grace and blessings for the divine protection at all times. You can offer this sacred cloth to Devi Parashakti and be blessed with her grace and compassion, with her protection through all adverse situations in your life. And you're blessed with all auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, through whom Devi Parashakti is manifesting, through who is the Nijavatar of Devi Parashakti herself. And as you get ready to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti today, you can make this offering as your gift of love and devotion, gratitude, your personal expression of the sacred sentiments to Devi Parashakti. And here is a summary of the various offerings that are made available on the website for you to express your sacred sentiments. The website is www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and you can make the offering of e-hundi in any amount in multiple currencies. You can also make the conscious resolution, the offering of the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution, your prayer, which has the power to make all your asked and unasked prayers be blessed by the divine. And then you have the Devi Sahasranama Kasu, the offering of the pure gold coin and inscribed with the name of the sacred name of Devi Parashakti, one of her 1008 sacred names. And this offering can be made in 3 different denominations, and you can offer any number of coins as you would like to. You can also offer the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, to adorn Devi Parashakti. You can offer the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus flower, which is held sacred in all of the many rituals and offerings of worship to the divine. And you can also offer the Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring, to adorn the lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. You can offer the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry, which represents the overflowing gratitude. And you can offer the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the ultimate sacred space of offering gratitude from a disciple to the Guru. And you can make the offering of the Vastra Seva, the offering of the sacred cloth. So all of these offerings are made available for your convenience to express your sacred sentiments to Devi Parashakti on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And you can now see the website being projected, www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And you can scroll down and make the offerings to Devi Parashakti. On step 2, you can make the offering for the e-hundi, which you can offer any amount in multiple currencies. And you can also make the offerings of the various jewelry and the offerings of seva for Devi Parashakti from this link on step 2. So the e-hundi offerings are available in multiple currencies of US dollars, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars, Singaporean dollars, New Zealand dollars, euros, Indian rupees, Malaysian ringgits, Great Britain pound, and the Chinese yen. And you can make the offering in any amount of your choice. And it is your personal gift to Devi Parashakti as you get ready to receive her blessings and darshan today. And you can also make the offerings of the various jewelry and sevas on the website, where you can offer the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution, the Devi Sahasranama Kasu, the pure gold coin inscribed with her sacred name from one of 1008 names, and the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring with a pearl embedded in it in 3 different sizes, the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower in 3 different sizes, the Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring for the lotus feet of Devi, the Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry, the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the offering of the gratitude to Guru, the Vastra Seva, offering of the sacred cloth, all of these offerings and various other offerings are made available to you for your convenience and for you to be able to express your sacred sentiments for Devi Parashakti. So please visit the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and as you get ready to receive Devi Parashakti's blessings, you can also get ready to receive her with your personal gift, your expression of the sacred sentiment as you receive Devi Parashakti. And if you have any questions, or if you would like to express any of your sacred sentiments, please do post a message on the YouTube live chat, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have, or we would love to hear from you about your expression of your sacred sentiments. What would you like to offer as a gift to Devi Parashakti? And how has Devi Parashakti graced your life? Your experience of her overflowing love and compassion. Do share your thoughts, your experiences on the YouTube live chat. And with this, now we'll be moving to the next segment of this program as we continue to prepare and get ready to receive the Devi, receive the grace and compassion, the darshan of Devi Parashakti.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to this segment of Kailasir Protection Centers, which are de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa. With the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivan's blessings, let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dandvatitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So, in this segment, what we are going to learn concerning statistics on mental health and global peace across the world due to the COVID-19. What are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's contributions towards the global peace and to cope up with the pandemic? What are the spiritual solutions that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been providing and how they are helping? And why and which are converted into de facto spiritual embassies, converted into Kailasa's COVID care protection centers. And UN recognizes Kailasa's contributions and join Kailasa's COVID care protection center. The World Health Organization makes big statement about Delta variant of COVID-19. The World Health Organization on Tuesday said that the Delta variant of coronavirus has elbowed out all the 3 other COVID-19 variants of concern that now represent a tiny fraction of the samples, which are being sequenced. Less than 1% of alpha, beta, and gamma are currently circulating. It's really predominantly Delta around the world, said World Health Organization's technical lead on COVID-19, Maria Van Kerkhove. The Delta variant, which was first detected in India last year, has become more fit, it is more transmittable, and it is outcompeting. It is replacing the other viruses that are circulating, she said, and added that the variant has been detected in more than 185 countries till date. The coronavirus pandemic has now killed more Americans than the 1918, 1919 influenza pandemic did. The 1918 flu infected about 25% of Americans and killed an estimated 65% with 675,000 deaths. COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of Americans and killed about 2% with 676,000 deaths. Now that the US death toll from COVID-19 has surpassed 676,000, the coronavirus pandemic has killed more Americans than the 1918 influenza pandemic did. Axios and the Associated Press both reported the grim milestones on recent Monday. So COVID-19 now officially US deadliest pandemic as death toll crosses that of the 1918 to 1919 flu. People infected with alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus into the air than original COVID strain. According to a study in Maryland, researchers suggested the need for better ventilation and tight-fitting masks in addition to widespread vaccination to help stop spread of the virus. In US, 6 feet distance may not be enough to prevent viral transmission indoors. Washington, physical distancing of 2 meters, about 6.5 feet, may not be enough to sufficiently prevent transmission of virus carrying airborne aerosols indoors. According to a study, the results published in the journal Sustainable City that the physical distance alone is not enough to prevent human exposure to exhaled aerosols and should be implemented with other control strategies such as masking the adequate ventilation. The researchers examined 3 factors: the amount and rate of air ventilated through a space, the indoor airflow pattern associated with the different ventilation strategies, and the aerosol emission mode of breathing versus talking. They also compared transport of tracer gas typically employed to test leaks in airtight systems and human respiratory aerosols ranging the size from 1 to 10 micrometers. Aerosols in this range can carry SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. United Nations declare COVID-19 Delta variant still most concerning, says the World Health Organization experts. Even with the emergence of the new COVID-19 variant, the Delta strain remains the top concern globally, appearing to outcompete others. Senior officials with the World Health Organization said recently, I think the Delta variant for me is the one that's most concerning because of the increased transmittability, said Dr. Maria Vankerkove, the agency's technical lead for COVID-19, speaking during an online question and answer session. In US, COVID-19 pandemic is nowhere under control, says the chief medical advisor, Mr. Anthony Fauci. He said, right now, we are still in pandemic mode because we have 160,000 new infections a day. That's not even modestly in good control. In an interview with Axios, the US has reported 40 million cases of COVID-19 since the outbreak of the virus, with over 4 million infections adding up in the past few weeks. The increase in COVID cases comes as the US administration earlier this month announced that it is planning to provide booster shots of the vaccine as the Delta variant has become dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. The surge in Delta variant is driven by the low vaccination coverage in many communities across the US, according to a US Center for Disease Control and Prevention. In a country of our size, you can't be hanging around and having 100,000 infections a day. You have got to get well before 10,000 before you start feeling comfortable. COVID-19 made the world less peaceful. One side, it became more vaccine resistant and more transmittable and spreading across the world. Now, COVID-19 made the world less peaceful. COVID-19 violent incidences and fatalities, January 2020 to April 2021, the violence incidences related to the pandemic peaked in April 2020. The younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. Ages 18 to 24 with affected 56.2%, and ages 25 to 49 reported symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder about 48.9%, and ages 50 to 64 about 39.1%, and ages 65 plus reported symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder about 29.3. Average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety disorder and a depressive disorder, what it was in 2019 was in a 6 months period, it was 11%. Now, during this pandemic, it rose up to 41.1. In just 1 month, it just rose up to 41.1%. And some more statistics confirming the same, that the younger adults are affecting more in symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder. Stress in America, a national mental health crisis. COVID-19 is a significant stressor for most Americans. Nearly 8 in 10, about 78% say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their life. Nearly 7 in 10, which is 67%, say they have experienced increased stress over the course of the pandemic. More than 60,000 US healthcare workers have contracted COVID-19, 300 have died. Of the health workers who treated patients during the China's COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression, 45% showed signs of anxiety. Self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers. Before COVID-19 pandemic, the depression was 15%. Now, during the COVID-19 pandemic, it rose up to 40.7%. And now anxiety was 29%. Now it rose up to, during the pandemic, 72%. Stay-at-home orders. 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on schools or work and avoiding distractions. 55% students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Understanding the pandemic impact on working women. Nearly 82% of the women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. Nearly 70% of women who experienced their disruptions are concerned their career growth may be limited as a result. The global economic outlook during the COVID-19 pandemic, a changed world. The pandemic is expected to plunge most countries into recession in 2020, with per capita income contracting the largest fraction of countries globally since 1870. The International Labour Organization, COVID-19 is a threat to peace building in conflict-affected nations. The COVID-19 crisis has worsened already fragile situations. The ILO The COVID-19 crisis has worsened already fragile situations. The ILO is more aware than ever of its responsibility to promote peace and resilience in the time of this global pandemic. The Mumbai mayor says the third wave is here. The city's mayor has said that the third wave of COVID is already upon Mumbai, pointing to a sudden spike in cases. The third wave of COVID is not coming, it's here, said Kishori Padnekar, adding that the announcement regarding the matter had already been in Nagpur. Speaking of the coming festive season in Maharashtra, the mayor urged people to remain in their homes. The mandals have been asked to allow only 10 people and have them work in shifts. Breakthrough infections found in 25% of health staff. According to a study, a little over 25% of healthcare workers were infected with coronavirus despite getting fully vaccinated. According to a recent study has revealed, giving an insight on the breakthrough infections due to the Delta variant. The study, jointly conducted by the Institute of Genomics and Interactive Biology, the maximum hospitals in Delhi, NCR, found that the vaccination breakthroughs were far more common during the Delta outbreak in Delhi than previously reported. A new coronavirus strain known as Mu, which was first identified in Colombia in January, has been designated a variant of interest by the World Health Organization. After being detected in Colombia, Mu, known scientifically as the B.1.621, has since been reported in other South American countries and in Europe. The Mu variant has a constellation of mutations that indicate potential properties of immune escape. The Global Health Today's body said that in its weekly pandemic bulletin. Join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Center. Register now through the link below. https://kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. Making peace with the nature is possible. If we start now, making peace with nature is possible. If we start now, even amid a pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with nature and set the planet to healing. Our environmental, societal, and economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we cannot achieve sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty by 2030, if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economies and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch a small video clip which the World Health Organization Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interrelated. If In the words of the Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros, there cannot be health without peace, and there cannot be peace without health. If individuals and groups enjoy equitable access to health services, fulfilling their rights to physical and mental health, and health actors design and not neutral health interventions that promote trust and dialogue, and communities are empowered to cope with violent conflict, then health coverage is more universal. Grievances can be heard and addressed to generate trust, and around health emergency concerns, affected communities are more likely to make meaningful contributions, and peace and reconciliation to resist the incitement and violence. United Nations Institute of Peace. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states requires concerted international action at local, international, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that this crisis will fuel new conflict around the world while stemming from solving ongoing ones. Stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contract between people, government, the private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. International Day of Yoga. United Nations declared the theme Yoga for Well-being. The day will be marked at a time when COVID-19 pandemic continues to upend lives and livelihood of people globally. Beyond its immediate impact on physical health, the COVID-19 pandemic has also exacerbated psychological suffering and mental health problems, including depression and anxiety, as pandemic-related restrictions continue in various forms in many countries. This has highlighted the urgent need to address the mental health dimension of the pandemic, in addition to physical health aspects. The message of yoga in promoting both the physical and mental well-being of humanity has never been more relevant. A growing trend of people around the world embracing yoga to stay healthy and rejuvenated and to fight social isolation and depression has been witnessed during the pandemic. And to fight social isolation and depression has been witnessed during the pandemic. Yoga is also playing a significant role in the psychosocial care and rehabilitation of COVID-19 patients in quarantine and isolation. It is particularly helpful in allaying the fears and anxiety. UN spotlights the health benefits of yoga, an ancient practice that can ease stress of our modern laptop lives. Yoga is a practice that can be relevant to all ages, relevant to all cultures, irrespective of what socio-economic status people represent. It can be used to unite our complex and difficult world, to promote not only healthy lifestyles, but to promote peace and security in the world, said Dr. Nata Menabde, Executive Director of the New York Office of the World Health Organization, at an event entitled called Conversation Yoga for Health. Our contemporary world is showing no signs of decline in the intensity of violent conflicts, crime, displacement, and the prevalence of a continued state of tension in many regions of the world. According to a UN report, in the year 2019 alone, about 55% of 358 political conflicts worldwide involve the use of violence. The geopolitical tensions, which have been on the rise even before the COVID-19 pandemic, have only prolonged violent conflicts, making it difficult for policymakers to come together and resolve their differences peacefully and amicably. The last decade witnessed the highest number of people internally displaced by conflict and violence. Let us see what are the contributing points of Hinduism and Kailasa. Vedic tradition beautifully describes Yastu Sarvani Bhutani Atmani Ivanu Pushyati Sarva Bhuteshu Chatmanam Tatona Vigagupshate. That means the global peace is by the product of individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifests peace. He is more powerful, he moves the whole village or a whole country. If he is powerful enough, like he moves the whole world. The individual bliss is the source for the global peace in the level of Om. The microscopic and macroscopic level, whatever level it may be, peace is the byproduct of the individual peace. Now, let us listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that self-transformation, secret to achieve global peace.
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for turning the world. You should work for revolution. You should work for all these, that things. You should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do. Socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. There are many things which is attached to this question. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war. There is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. 10,000 years ago, the same thing carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time as only good prevailed. It is just a fantasy. Hinduism, they call it Satya Yuga, the age of truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the Garden of Adam and Eve. There was a time everything was wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, so the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise, I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. If you read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things. Enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find little more. And if you see, if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, the CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, you can go beyond it. And I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. Every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. So no revolution is going to help, because in the last 2000 years 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same, I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help, only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and social answer means, I'll tell.
Now, let us listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that Sri Kailas is all about peace-based powerfulness.
Listen carefully. The space of Shanti, is where Kailasa grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep powerfulness of peace, or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything, pure Shanti-based Shakti, peace-based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace-based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness. Powerlessness is weakness. Violence is abusive. Peace-centered powerfulness. Powerfulness-centered peace. All the Upanishads starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra starts with Shanti mantra, gets completed with Shanti mantra. Peace-based powerfulness is a fundamental requirement for Paramashivatva to manifest. That is why people who don't want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power manifestation do not want to allow the peace in our life or do not want peace in our campus. Understand? But only if you are peaceful, which cannot be shaken even by the demons and devils and rakshasas, we can be in eternal peace. So, remember this very clearly. Peace alters the very DNA structure, genetic structure, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat, more than Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. That consciousness starts growing in you with more and more peace-based powerfulness developing in you. Nothing can be compared to unclutching. Spend more and more time, energy in unclutching. It will never be wasted. Time spent on unclutching is the most productive time for you in your life, because unclutching completely makes you altogether a different material. Understand? It makes your very biomemory, muscle memory, core structure, molecular structure, genetic structure, DNA structure, everything, all the 8 energy flow circuits flows. 1, the pure conscious explosion. So totally 8 energy flow circuits exist in you. All the 8 explodes when you unclutch. Understand? Unclutching is the space of Sri Kailasa. Listen carefully. Listen carefully.
Every prayer in Hinduism ends with peace.
Every chanting, every prayer in Hinduism ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Means peace, peace, peace. Hinduism is the real religion
loving peace, living peace. Individual level, social level, global level. Understand? Hinduism lost all its 56 nations, 200 states, 10,000 kingdoms, samsthanas, is not a loss to Hinduism, it is a loss to planet Earth, human beings. Wherever Hinduism is practiced, kept alive, the ideal of global peace is kept alive. Just do this one simple statistics. You yourself study. Google and study. Take the top 10 religions and list how many people they converted in last 200 years, how many people they killed. List for each religion. I can be 200% sure you yourself will realize Hinduism is the most peace-loving and peace-living religion, neither conversion nor terrorism. Neither conversion nor terrorism. Being the supreme pontiff of the most peace-loving, peace-living religion, I give you all my blessings on this International Peace Day. Understand? It is we Hindus need to keep the global peace as a living possibility, and we need to make this global peace as reality. Just talking about global peace will not work. Working for global peace only is the responsibility of the real living Hindu. Anyone who wants to claim themselves as a Hindu or practicing Hindu should work for global peace. Global peace is our responsibility. Every chant Hindus have the responsibility to bring global peace. So you can also throw a challenge. See, if you are making a Hindu micronation, you can throw this challenge to each one, your friends, family, 10 people. Let them participate in the challenge and then let them send the challenge to others. So I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus to become founding fathers of Kailasa micronation in your countries. You can also make a challenge, like how they made ice bucket challenge and all that. We can make a challenge. You form Hindu micronation and claim, I am the founding father of the Hindu micronation Kailasa. And then you can invite your family, friends for a challenge. 11 people. You form and you challenge 11 people and they also form and they spread. So let us start spreading this project message on this International Day of Peace. Let us start working for global peace instead of just talking. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. This is the message. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. Global peace is responsibility of Hindus. We living, practicing Hindus not only we should achieve the individual peace through unclutching yoga meditation, we should also create an ecosystem where the global peace starts manifesting. This Kailasa Hindu micronation is the enlightenment ecosystem. I request every living practicing Hindu to manifest, do it. So the global peace can manifest from these Kailasa Hindu micronations all over the world. Hindus.
Now, let us see the Kailasa's mission of global peace and superconsciousness breakthrough. The sovereign order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora, are working for global peace and to give a superconsciousness breakthrough to humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to revive a conscious world where the global issues at the climate, economic, social, health, and humanitarian levels cease to exist from their very root, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels, individual, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of human mind, body, emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Now let us see the crisis that we are under and what are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's some more contributions. As we all know, people today around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The aftermath of the current calamity promises to be much more devastating. The greater economics of the world are facing disastrous futures. Countries are facing off each other in deep mistrust. Since the beginning of the global lockdown, the amount of contribution and activism Kailasa has increased multifold. Some of the ways, let us see, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides spiritual solutions to combat the pandemic and other issues. Through the Paramashivoham program, bringing super consciousness breakthrough to the whole humanity. By starting the Akhanda Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna and contributing almost 3 million minutes now. Paramashiva Sankalpa chanting, the sacred chanting mantra to heal 24/7 via Zoom sessions. And the spiritual healing through one and all 24/7. Helping humanity to cope up with insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves, learn to cope up emotions like depression and tough situations in relationship, providing alternative solutions to worldly problems through power manifestation, initiating thousands every day into the innate superhuman capabilities in Kailas courtyard sessions, providing healthy solutions like a technique to clear the stomach from the Ayurveda based, which ultimately brings clarity out to the spiritual truths. In the long term, establishing self-sufficient communities. Continuing and intensifying this service of Annadan, the free food in Nithyananda Annalayas around the world, including Tirunamalai and Los Angeles, paving way with the New World Order, starting the agriculture-based communities in Adi Kailas and several other locations. Peacekeepers of Kailasa offering various life solutions from the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Offering Maheshwara Puja to the natural calamities hit victims. Bhava Samadhi Darshan to raise the individual consciousness breakthroughs. Devi Parashakti, Akashic readings, the cosmic revelations. What are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism spiritual solutions for COVID-19? It is important to address the COVID pandemic, which is seeing another wave, destroying many more lives. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says the pandemic fatigue setting in as a result of continuous lockdown is resulting in delusional ignorance, holding on to the delusion and supporting this pace of delusional decisions leads to delusional arrogance through bhava sankalpa. Continuous lockdown leads to delusional thoughts like, so what, if I die, it's okay. I can't live forever in this lockdown. Going out and then exposing oneself and putting the risk on yourself and others with irresponsibility and insensitivity is the delusional arrogance. Society was created with delusional ideas of too many human beings, blind spots, and decisions made from these blind spots. If the visionary of a civilization or country or nation has blind spots, when he develops the vision for it, the whole civilization suffers through those blind spots forever. Now it's time that nature resets itself. Many of the blind spots based visions, ideas become important components of the society. This pralaya, which is happening, is melting down everything which is delusion based. The world, as we know, is gone. Let's celebrate God. This isolation, which is seemingly endless with an unknown future, which is compelling humanity to make 100% lifestyle change, is something to be deeply dwelled upon. All problems need to be addressed only with spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. To stop people having mental breakdown, pandemic fatigue, collapsing, depression, destruction, and also give them super consciousness breakthrough and revive the enlightened civilization. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously gives spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. Some of the spiritual cognitions and the powerful spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions are unclutching, practicing completion, practicing oneness, practicing ajapa japa of Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, consciously building a deep feeling connection, yoga, puja, vegetarian diet, and nirahara samyama. It's time we all take responsibility to save the humanity, to protect people from the pandemic fatigue and destruction. Let's try to enrich and enrich people for every one of those spiritual solutions. It's free and open for all. Let us take a few minutes now and share with all, as many people as possible. Let us save the world and let us give them the experience of unclutching, Nirvikalpa Samadhi initiation, and save the people from pandemic fatigue and epidemic fatigue, destruction and delusion. The Maya matrix help people to save super consciousness breakthrough and sail through this pralaya. The global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately looking for answers. Life as it had been experienced even back in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. Drastic change is the order of the day. Drastic changes is the order of day, with people having to redefine their world with new paradigms of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Blessed are those who had the greatest fortune to be with the incarnation of Paramashiva, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives to carry them through this crisis. The life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from scriptures, the cognitions rooted in the highest truths, lifestyle based on living and radiating the higher values of life, the powerful way of living and realizing one's ultimate potential form the foundation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism teachings with their inherent nature provide the foundation of peace on planet Earth.
Knows little about this particular Meenakshi temple. Please tell us who is Devi Meenakshi and her husband. Why this grand temple? What are the visible and invisible functions of this temple? Please tell us, Swamiji.
Read the next question also. Both.
As we see in our present time, towers of mobile, TV or dish TV antennas everywhere connecting invisibility to satellites, doing an incredible function for individuals and for society. My question is, there is and was everything in this culture. Anybody coming from outside just wonder, is this just sentimental carved stones, worshipping culture or just artistic sculpture? What is the invisible function of temples, deities?
See, both questions, same answer. That is the reason I wanted to answer both the questions together. Modern day dish TVs, antennas, mobile towers, all of them work in the level of certain frequency where the words, pictures, visuals can be transmitted. See, the verbalization and visualization, names and forms can be transmitted from one place to another place through these mobile towers, dish TV antennas. But the temple towers are created to transmit super consciousness from one place to another place. Please understand. In Meenakshi's time, there was television, conscious television. It used to be in stone slab. And if you just sit in front of that stone TV, meditate, connect with Meenakshi, she will appear live and answer whatever you want. So each of the stone slabs only slowly later on became deities. You can see in our temples this happening. The TVs in which I am appearing and speaking are slowly becoming deities. They are receiving worship. Flowers are offered to it. Aarti is done to it. Incense is given to it. Now, all our temples are planning to have a separate throne for this TV. In Los Angeles, already I am on the throne. The TV is in the throne. The TV, in which people are seeing me, have already become deity. Same way, please understand, the stones through which people are able to connect with the super consciousness have become deities. Same way, all our temples, deities, everything is a connecting mechanism with super consciousness. The mechanism which connects with the super consciousness Please understand, the deities and temples are not just sentimental carved stones, or they are not just artistic sculptures. They are conscious transmitters. They raise you to the superconsciousness. In each house in Vedic tradition, we have a puja room. All the puja rooms are your private conscious airport, are conscious transmission centers. The main temple is a place from where continuous superconsciousness is radiating. So if you just sit and connect with a deep feeling connection, see, in those days human beings were so beautiful and simple. Just remembering the name of the deity is enough. They are already in connection with the deity. That feeling connection. When I read Patanjali's yoga, it says, sit in Siddhasana and be in Samadhi. That's all. Human beings were so simple in those days. Just if you sit in Siddhasana, you are already in Samadhi. If you sit, your mind sits. Now, if you sit, your mind sits. Mind is completely away from the body. In those days, human beings are so simple and intelligent. All the non-mechanical parts of their brain were awakened. It is Western culture which killed the non-mechanical parts of the brain, the functions of the non-mechanical parts of the brain. Please understand, in the Vedic civilization, always human beings were brought up in such a way that non-mechanical parts of the brain was fully alive and awakened. It is a cultural invasion, destroyed the greatest possibility of the human being when the non-mechanical parts of the brain is not functioning anymore. The temples, deities, all these are looking useless. Otherwise, they are a huge conscious infrastructure. Please understand. One example, suddenly, if we find some method to travel just 20 feet above the air, or 30 feet above the air, without petrol or diesel, all our automobiles, roads, everything will become useless.